Hi, everybody. So here's our lesson on topic sentences. We've talked about these a little bit with the previous essays, so I'm going to review some of that, and then we'll talk about how your topic sentences will sound in your Unit 4 essay in particular. So let's talk a little bit about why topic sentences are helpful in academic writing. So for your reader, they are like a roadmap for your reader. They're going to guide your reader through your argument, make it a lot easier for them to follow your ideas. So that is one benefit. They also help preview the paragraph so the reader kind of knows what's coming and can prepare. And they also show how the information in that paragraph connects to your overall thesis. So they basically establish a focus for the paragraph, and then they show how it connects. So it helps with coherence. They're also helpful to you because they'll help you stay organized, present things in a logical manner. And one of my favorite things about topic sentences is they really help you to stay focused as you develop your paragraphs, because they're essentially putting a label on that paragraph and telling you what information goes in the paragraph and what doesn't, right? So they're a really great way to stay focused in your individual paragraphs and also make sure you're staying focused back up to your thesis. All right, so this is just general information. So why am I having you write topic sentences before we really get into the outline? After you've done all this analysis of the evidence and the rhetorical appeals and the language use and tone, you might start getting an idea of what some of the strengths and weaknesses in your author's argument are. And if you can start listing topic sentences, that's a great way to kind of like as a stepping stone between this pre-writing that we're doing and the outline that you should be working on, because basically the topic sentences are the frame of your essay that everything else is going to hang off of. So if you envision like a house being built, and when they start building it, it has this kind of like the framework up, right? So that's what I envision when I think of the topic sentences. Right. The other thing is, if you just run some topic sentences by me, I can see if you're going in the right direction. That's an easy way for me to check if you are going to have focus paragraphs, if there is the potential for development before you go much further down the path, right? So I can kind of make sure that you're on the right track. And one of the other things I recommend people do is have more than they need. So for this essay, you'll need 4 topic sentences for the evaluation paragraphs. And I usually ask people at this stage to try to come up with 6, because that way, if you're writing and one of them's not working out, you have a backup plan, right? So in general, one of the things I'd really like you to leave this course with is this idea about topic sentences. So you want to understand the general goal of topic sentences, or the general kind of strategies that might work. My dog has a toy. I'm sorry. All right. So one of the goals of the topic sentence is to clearly identify the topic or the focus for that paragraph. Sometimes I compare them to if you've ever moved house and you have those moving boxes and you label them, bathroom, kitchen, bedroom. You want to make sure that only bedroom stuff goes in the bedroom box and only kitchen stuff goes in the kitchen box, right? So that's what the topic sentences are going to do for you. They're going to tell you what information goes in that paragraph and what information doesn't. They're also going to show how the paragraph fits in the overall essay. So some ways that you'll do that in general, and we're going to talk about how to do this in particular with the Unit 4 essay, is repeating ideas from the thesis. If you repeat ideas from the thesis in the topic sentences, it's going to show how that topic sentence connects to the whole argument. And then eventually, when you start putting these into the essay, you will have a transition from the previous paragraph that helps to make those connections and make things flow. The other thing you want to do with your topic sentences, make sure that they are relatively concise, succinct, direct. You don't want to put in any details or any examples in the topic sentence. You want to save those for the support sentences that will come later. So the topic sentence just labels that paragraph and doesn't do much more. The support sentences will come later. And there was something else. Okay. So how is this going to work in the Unit 4 critical evaluation essay? So here are our general goals over here. Clearly establish what that paragraph is going to talk about, and show how it fits into the overall essay. Here's how you're going to do that in the Unit 4 essay. One thing that you'll include is what element are you evaluating? What is it? Tone? Is it some criteria of evidence? Is it the author's word choice? Is it a rhetorical appeal? So you're going to name that element that you're going to be evaluating in that paragraph, right? You're going to have the author's last name. You should always be, that's kind of repeating what the whole essay is about, and maybe mentioning the author's argument because that's what your whole essay is about. And then you're going to have some language that has to do with whether you're talking about a strength or a weakness in the argument. Sometimes people use strength and weakness. Sometimes people use words like successful or unsuccessful, effective and ineffective. So some language like that that shows whether you are talking about this element that the author uses in their argument, whether it strengthens the argument or weakens the argument, or maybe something a little bit in between. So I'll show you some examples. And that's really all that you would have. Eventually, again, once you start developing the essay, then you'll probably also have a transition from whatever paragraph came before. All right. Oop, a lot of stuff coming up there. Sorry about that. So here are some examples, and you'll see these on the Google Doc that I share with you, where I'm showing how I would evaluate the Forbes article that everyone's pretty familiar with. So this is what my topic sentences might sound like if I were going to write an essay about the Forbes article. So notice that the kind of pinkish purple, the author's last name is mentioned in all of these. The blue is what writing tool or strategy is being evaluated in this paragraph. And the green is that it strengthens or weakens. Now, there is a lot of repetition in these sentences in terms of the word choice, but I'm not too concerned about that at this stage of the game. Right now, I'm just saying, what do I have? What could I possibly write about? All right. So although Forbes presents evidence from credible sources, he weakens his argument when he presents facts in a misleading way. So this is all about the credibility of his evidence. All right. Forbes presents adequate reasons and evidence for his points, but he weakens his argument by ignoring other important points related to the issue of student debt forgiveness. One major weakness in Forbes' argument is that many of his reasons lack specific evidence. So we have adequate, but specific. So that's going back to that lesson a couple of videos ago where we started looking at, what makes for good evidence. Forbes effectively appeals to logos in his argument against student debt forgiveness. Forbes' critical tone towards politicians might help him get some readers on his side in this debate. So a little kind of variation in the wording there, but it's still doing the same thing. Author's last name. Here's the element that will be discussed in this paragraph and might help him get readers. That shows that it could be successful. So very straightforward. And if you just give me a list of possible topic sentences, I can tell a lot from those topic sentences to see if you're on the right track before you go any further. Does that make sense? Great. Okay. So some things to remember. In general, topic sentences are expected to be the first sentence in the body paragraph in academic writing. There are a few exceptions to that, but that's usually where we're going to see the topic sentence, right? This is very typical. It's called closed form writing. And our goal in this kind of writing is to make it as easy as possible for your readers to follow along with your ideas. All right. Also remember that the topic sentences should come from you, not a source. So the topic sentences are the point that you're making in the essay, right? That Forbes strengthened his argument or whatever it is, okay? And one other thing I always have to tell people about topic sentences. No one's too fancy for topic sentences. It doesn't matter how good a writer you are. Topic sentences are really going to help structure, organize, focus your writing. And they don't have to be even that dry and repetitive like the examples I gave. You can still have a topic sentence that doesn't sound like boring or babyish, right? But it should still have those elements, right? Naming the author, what are you going to be talking about in this paragraph? How does this fit in with the whole essay? Leave it at that. Save the flowery sentences for later. So I had a colleague who worked at UD in the Writing Center. She ran the Writing Center at UD. She was helping grad students, PhD students with their academic writing, and she would get them to do topic sentences. And this quote, I should have quotation marks. No one's too fancy for topic sentences. All right. So your goal, as after you've gone through and you've analyzed the evidence, the appeals, the language, the tone, all that stuff that we talked about in the previous lessons, now you want to take a step back and say, okay, what do I see as some of the major strengths or weaknesses in my author's argument, and start developing some topic sentences. You can include them on the Google Doc if you've shared that with me. You can just email them to me if you want to. They're not a required assignment, but highly, highly recommended, because again, I can tell a lot from your topic sentences that will help me to tell if you're going in the right direction with this essay. Okay, I hope that helps. And as always, keep in touch. Let me know if you get stuck or need help. All right, take care. Bye.